Hello. What's up, guys? We're gonna be trying something a little bit different. I am going to be going over Chris Bumstead's lifting advice. Chris Bumstead just won his fifth Mr. Olympia title for classic physique. So what we're gonna do in honor of that is I'm going to see how good his advice is. Believe it or not, a lot of top level bodybuilders actually don't know anything about exercise science.
That vascular, look at them running. Look at that, that's why they mad. They can't get vascular. They eat all that sodium, all that processed meat. That's why they can't get veins like that. That's healthy.
Healthy? You look like a erect penis.
Just shut up. You're just mad because you're not as big as he is.
Damn, you got me there, bro.
I had a heart attack.
You would be amazed how far fucking drugs and good genetics will take. Let's jump into it.
Focus on the basics. People get a little carried away with like the secret this, the best food to eat, the best times to do cardio, the best this. Just get your shit done that you need to get done. If you have a plan, just follow the plan. Don't worry about the best, crazy things to do. Just start small and stick to the absolute basics. My favorite thing was that Michael Jordan, warming up, always practiced the chest pass before doing anything else because it was just a basic thing. Most people want to do like 360 dunks, all the crazy shit, but you don't do that in the game. That doesn't really make you better. But passing does, like form does, hitting every meal, perfect. Just doing your cardio whenever you manage to do it, then you're good to go. So just stick to the basics, don't overthink it.
So yeah, for that first clip, honestly, for the most part, that is true. Honestly, just like if you can consistently hit your meals, consistently hit your calories, and consistently make it to the gym with good form, good technique, you do on your lifts, yeah, that would account for just about 90% of your gains. And honestly, like during your newbie gains phases, whenever you actually gain like most of your muscle mass, like you realistically gain a lot of your muscle mass within the first 2 years of lifting, and then you just kind of tapers off from there. So yeah, if you really embrace the basics, it all really depends what he defines as basics. I would say the most important basic that isn't really emphasized as much for people is for beginners is progressive overload. Progressive overload really needs to have like more emphasis placed on it. But yeah, if you progressive overload, good technique, hit all your meals. I wish 17-year-old me would have just focused on the basics instead of trying to program like Jeff Nippard. I would say don't really worry about the advanced shit unless you want to make progress past like mid-intermediate. Yeah, definitely not bad.
Pretty much my whole career I've been training with the same mindset where I come in and I do a heavy basic compound movement, focus on a lot of strength, but something that also I know I have good mind-muscle connection in. So for me that's always incline pressing. I feel that more in my chest. So I start every chest day with some kind of incline press, compound movement with a free weight typically, and then after that I move on to another pressing but with a machine, so that I don't have to focus on controlling the weight and just kind of hammer it out on my pecs.
So I would say that for the most part, that's pretty good. So I really like what he said in the beginning there. Focusing on something that you can get a lot of strength on in the beginning, but also have a pretty good mind muscle connection with is amazing. Like for me personally, I don't ever usually begin my my workouts with like a typical like powerlifter style bench, because what's my arms that being in the most comfortable position for me, I don't feel my chest for shit if I do that. If I take my grip and widen it out as much as I can, that's just about the only way I can feel my pecs on a bench press. But you know, it's still a bench press. It's still a compound movement, so I can still push heavy ass weight. I wouldn't necessarily begin my workout with like a fly. I think that's great right there. Yeah, definitely starting your workout with a heavy compound, something you can feel a lot of mind muscle connection on, you can progress on. This is the part where I'm a little bit raises some eyebrows a little bit.
I move on to another pressing but with a machine, so that I don't have to focus on controlling the weight and just kind of hammer it out on my pecs.
He says so he doesn't have to focus on controlling the weight. I actually think that's a bit backwards. I think this, okay, we'll go off based off of two definitions. He could either mean doesn't focus on technique at all and just presses the weight, doesn't focus on rep tempo, doesn't focus on feeling the muscle work or anything like that. Which, if that's the case, I don't think that is a good way to apply it, because on a isolation movement like we'll use a chest press for example, like a hammer strength machine, you can torture muscle with focus tension without a bunch of like the limiting stabilizing factors and stuff. I mean, so if he meant that first thing, I don't necessarily agree. If he means it just makes the movement more stable so he can hammer away at the muscle without having to focus on all these form cues and stuff like that, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's probably what he meant. But yeah, let's keep watching. Hey, quick PSA. If you guys are enjoying this video, be sure to subscribe. But I'm putting a lot of effort into like editing these videos and putting them together, and I'm really trying to grow. And thank you so much for all the support that's been on these recent videos. Yeah, thank you guys. The next video is the only 10 exercises men need to build muscle. Someone with workout ADHD, that fucking wrecks my brain, dog.
Squats, just overall leg growth. They help glutes, quads, like a large portion of the leg that
Barbell
will really
back
help.
squat.
Barbell back squat, super
Okay,
simple.
right.
If it's my whole life, I might actually do Smith machine squats because it'll help my knees in a little bit, be a little bit easier.
Okay.
Less
Okay.
stability, and people hate me for that, but I love squatting in the Smith machine.
All right.
Honestly, Smith machine squats are a great movement. Yeah, overall, great movement for legs. That's probably what I would pick too.
We know you skip legs, motherfucker.
Shit for that.
Mm.
Deadlifts,
Okay.
just to get something that'll target my hamstrings, and so I don't have to take out another 10 of something too hamstring focused and glute and back focused. Pull-ups, so I can hit my back and biceps in one.
Overhand, underhand.
Neutral.
Oh, neutral grip.
Neutral probably, yeah. It's
Okay.
a little bit more lat and biceps.
Yep.
Make
Yep.
sure my arms are going.
I think going neutral is a great movement for if you can only do this specific version of the pull-up for life, because doing overhand, underhand, super wide grip, anything like that, eventually you actually end up running into elbow pain and overuse injuries, which is awesome. Luckily, the neutral grip is kind of how like we're built to hold the bars, so it's actually a really safe movement. And I don't know if you guys have ever actually done neutral grip pull-ups where you can actually like, you know, wrap your hands like this around the bar and throw your thumb on the outside too. You feel like you have a really strong grip, and also you'll feel your back work for sure. But overall, great movement so far.
Better on your shoulders, so if you're doing it's the only exercise you can do, you won't fuck up your shoulders as much.
I should have just kept the video playing.
Incline dumbbell press.
Uh-huh.
I find inclines a little bit better on your shoulders, so if you're doing it's the only exercise you can do, you won't fuck up your shoulders as much. And dumbbell, it'll just keep you a little bit more symmetrical.
That is true. Also, incline dumbbell press is a little bit safer because you can bail on it without just dropping a bar on your fucking neck, because you can just fucking launch the dumbbell off to the side. Make sure to aim for the guy standing directly next to you.
Dumbbell shoulder press,
Uh-huh. Seated.
seated.
Yep.
Dumbbell shoulder press will help your triceps and shoulders a lot.
Actually, triceps are not as active in the dumbbell version. Reason being is so your triceps, they do this, right? Extend your arm, right? Okay, cool. So say you're holding a bar, right? Holding a bar, I can extend my triceps out to push the bar up, right? Now, say I have a dumbbell in my hand, right? Sure, my triceps are going to help with extending it, but if I just extend my triceps, bang. I actually think choosing a dumbbell variant for the shoulder press actually takes your triceps out of it.
Maybe a close grip flat bench. Different part of the chest and triceps. both
Uh-huh.
getting hit
Okay.
there.
Yeah. Full left.
Dumbbell curl. Standing supinated.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Context that you can only use one dumbbell curl. Yeah, that's not bad. My favorite bicep exercise is actually the incline curl because of the weighted stretch. But like, if you're trying to evenly target both heads of the bicep, it.
Exercises.
toes.
You only needed 7 so far.
Ah, damn. Did I say bent over row?
No.
Bent over row.
Okay.
That'll help like stability, like core as well.
Uh-huh.
Back selection overall is really good. Ideally, you want to have all your planes of motion trained within like your workouts. So you ideally want a rowing movement, a pull down / pull up movement, and some kind of straight arm work. I tend to classify deadlifts as straight arm hinge pulls, so they kind of fall into that straight arm kind of category. Yeah, it is pretty low back fatiguing is my only thing. If you're doing this forever, just saying, if I had to do all these in 1 week and I was like anything but a beginner, I would want to fucking shit my spine out, if I'm being real with you.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got 2 left.
Yeah.
Probably like a hanging leg raise, just to make sure your core is getting.
So in this situation, hanging leg raises are a cool movement because you look really good while doing them. They're a pretty good movement. I mean, They're a great movement for training your abs. But honestly, if you only have 10 exercises, I don't think I'd include an ab exercise at all, really. You don't need to train your abs. A lot of the aesthetic people you can think of in your brain right now don't ever fucking hit their abs, if I'm being real with you. If there were less compound movements, more isolations, yeah, I could see him like maybe including one ab exercise so it could poke through a little bit of higher body fat percentage. But if you wanted that to happen, I would honestly just do like cable crunches or something like that.
Dr. Drew and my wife Susan here, we want to show you something.
This is what
V-shred, fantastic.
I think I'm trying to like focus on either lateral raises or like a overhead tricep extension.
Yeah, me personally, I definitely would have taken the tricep overhead tricep extension over the ab exercise for sure. And then and then probably just done lateral raises also. Best tips for gaining weight as a hard gainer.
Best tips for gaining weight. Stop being a little bitch and eat your damn meals. There are zero secrets to gaining weight. You just have to eat. If you have shit genetics or great genetics, depending on how you look at it, your metabolism is super fast, you're just gonna have to eat more. It's just the name of the game. Training really hard, really intense, recovering, and eating is everything. It's just how your body grows. You're not putting stuff in, you're not gonna have anything to create muscle with. So just eat, don't overthink it, don't look for secrets, just do the hard shit and grow.
Praise the Lord, dog. Okay, he's right. Dead on. There is nothing more important than your. You can't gain size unless you're giving your body what it needs. What it needs in most cases is protein. Can you recomp? Yes. Okay, you don't need to bulk in every situation if that's what he's talking about. But yeah, you do need to fucking eat. Okay. Most skinny dudes will be like, yeah, dude, I don't know why I'm so skinny. I'm eating like 4,000 calories a day, and then you ask them then you have them write down what they're actually eating. They're eating like 1,200 calories a day, maybe. Your body literally cannot do anything unless you have the fuel in there. Whenever you work out, you damage the muscle, create little micro tears. Your body doesn't like to be stressed out. So what it's going to do, it's going to repair back from those. It's going to take the amino acids you eat in protein, convert them in, repair the micro tears, you get bigger muscles. You do all the exercises, all the sets in the world, but if you do not have enough protein, you're actually just going to be damaging and actually shrinking in muscle size anyways. But if you have the protein, you'll be able to regain the muscle mass. And to a degree, eventually, yeah, you'll probably need a surplus to grow. End all be all. Meals are the end all be all. You can have really good genetics, really bad genetics, medium genetics, fucking mid-ass dog water genetics. You got to eat. That's what brings us all together, dog. Okay, let's see. Okay. Is a 1 rep max beneficial for bodybuilding?
Do you ever 1 rep max? So I don't 1 rep max pretty much at all anymore. When I was younger, I used to because I just loved being strong, but I never did it in squatting because it was absolutely terrifying. I'll do it for deadlift and bench. But right now, as a competitive bodybuilder with my career, the risk of that does not outweigh the reward. There's no really benefit of that. So as I still love to train heavy, it's just a passion of mine is pushing weights in the gym. I focus more on ranges maybe as low as 4 to 5 reps on deadlifts because I feel safe doing that. On bench, I always do high volume for bench and squat because I'm trying to keep my body safe from injuring. I don't want to break anything, and it's not worth when my goal is hypertrophy and not so much purely strength.
Or spitting heat. Yeah, no, I think that so overall, like, I honestly don't think that 1 rep maxing past a certain strength level is worth it for really anybody. Not just if you have a good career in fitness, but just in general. After a certain strength level, like, you don't gotta fucking 1 rep max. Like, you really don't have to. If your main goal is hypertrophy, definitely don't fucking do it. If you want to compete in powerlifting, you gotta fucking do it. Your whole career is literally 1 rep maxing. I think in the beginning, 1 rep maxing is okay. Reason being is, as a beginner, 1 rep maxing is useful because your strength can differ so much week to week to week to week that it's a really good way to actually know where you're at. Once you get to, like, you know, your intermediate stage, you know, your 225 bench, 405 deadlift, 315 squat, you really don't need a 1 rep max after that unless you have like a specific goal you're aiming for. I just think that eventually you'd get better stimulus to fatigue ratio by just doing regular ass movements, you know?
All right, since I know some motherfucker named Jimothy is going to comment on this video saying, "You skinny motherfucker, I build muscle with 1 rep maxes. I 1 rep max every single day."
You can gain muscle with 1 rep maxes. You just have to equate the volume.
I just think there's a much better way.
Anyways, that was Mr. Chris Bumstead's video. Overall, yeah, great advice. I think that if most people follow it, like, you'll get pretty damn far if you just like follow like one-offs of like what he says, you know. Like, honestly, weightlifting can be complicated and getting fit can be complicated, but yeah, it doesn't need to be.